welcome back to the Die Hard Christian channel. God bless you all. Forgive me for discussing this topic later than usual, though this video is late. I feel this topic is worth discussing because clearly, we are living in the last days and the apocalypse is coming sooner than expected. At the beginning of this year, 2022, on January 24th, a truck was hauling 100 macaque monkeys from Africa. This truck was headed to a lab in Missouri when it collided with a dump truck that Friday at Route 54 and Interstate 80 in Valley Township. This had happened in Montour County, Pennsylvania. Whenever this truck had this accident, 3 of the monkeys had escaped from the vehicle, in which the state police was able to recover the monkeys, except for one. Because of this missing monkey, this forced the Game Commission along with state troopers to go and search for this runaway monkey in the cold temperatures. Apparently they captured most of these missing monkeys except for one, and someone who came in contact with these monkeys, a woman, developed some symptoms like a cough and pink eye. It was noted that she was fully vaccinated and had all her boosters, so the article even showed that the shots and boosters are irrelevant and according to them, doesn't defend this monkey disease which is known as monkeypox. This sounds like a movie to me. Many people may be familiar with this type of scenario. Nobody was surprised through predictive programming in movies like 28 Days Later. In this movie, a highly contagious, aggression-inducing virus called Rage virus was formed in Great Britain after an infected chimpanzee is freed by a group of animal liberation activists. This is no coincidence, this real-life situation. They captured all the monkeys after the accident, except for one. However, in this movie, the storyline states that only one monkey was released. Very interesting. I find this interesting because it is too similar with the pox situation we heard of. Let us take a moment and compare this so-called monkey disease and compare it to the movie, 28 Days Later. It is known that whoever has this monkey disease supposedly developed symptoms like a cough and pink eye. When we take a look at the movie, what do we see?
I know who you are. I know what you think you're doing.
You don't want to get hurt. Keep your mouth shut and don't move a fucking muscle.
The chimps are infected. They're highly contagious. They've been given an inhibitor.
Infected with what?
In order to cure, you must first understand.
Infected with what?
Rage. What the fuck is talking about?
Get the cages open.
No!
Listen, you sick bastard. We're going and we're taking your torture victims with us.
We're gonna get you out of here.
Listen, the animals are contagious. The infection is in their blood and saliva. One bite. Stop! You've no idea!
This has now become something much deeper than I had expected. Comparing to the movie, what we can see in reality according to the world is that the red eyes comes from this monkey disease as well as a cough in the movie. 28 Days Later, it is seen clearly that this monkey attacks the woman and transmits some disease to her. This disease in the movie results in similar reactions as real life: blood red eyes, coughing of blood, and the woman was even shown spitting the blood on another person, perhaps spreading the disease. Please understand how realistic and serious things may get, because this is far from over. Comparing this movie to monkeypox, according to the CDC, humans can get monkeypox from animals either through bites or scratches or preparing meat from wild game. Person-to-person transmission can occur through the exchange of large respiratory droplets during prolonged face-to-face contact. People can also get exposed through direct contact with bodily fluids, the lesions that form during an infection, or contaminated items like clothing or bedding. This could not be more related to the zombie movie that I had just shown. This has all made my mind question of a possible zombie apocalypse. Though it seems unrealistic, I am seeing more evidence of this outcome becoming a reality. Let us look at something the CDC had released a few years back that caught my attention. The CDC had released a comic book that goes by the name of Preparedness 101. This comic book may look innocent and fun, but do not be deceived. This is predictive programming in a booklet format, telling you exactly what is to come. Take a look at some of the pages and ask yourself, why would the CDC release this?
This is a follow-up to a previous video I put out. I want to replay the part of that video where they put underneath a zoom camera, or maybe it's a microscope, the COVID test swab. I'm not sure if this is the PCR swab or the rapid lateral flow swab, but when you look at it under the microscope, it is very concerning. You see these little jaggedy shards coming out. They look like plexiglass shards or something. And they did a very concerning demonstration. They took a chunk of meat and they rubbed it with one of these swabs. It doesn't even look like they rubbed it roughly or anything, just kind of a light rub. In my assessment, what they're doing inside people's noses and their brain membrane is much more rough than this. So the outcome of the experiment is we see, when they zoom in on this piece of meat, these shards sticking out of the flesh. Now, just
imagine what this is doing when they're shoving this up kids' noses.
And adults alike. So somebody sent me this very interesting report that I have up on the screen for you here, and I'm going to put it in the link in the description down below. The report is called Analysis of Test Sticks from Surface Testing in the Slavic Republic. Confirmation of Genocide. So they say that the test was performed between November and March, November 2020 and March 2021. They mention a number of brands here: SD Biosensor, Abbott, and Nadal. They examined these in a hospital laboratory in Slovakia. Now, let me point out, I don't know exactly who's behind this study. It could be an elaborate hoax. I haven't been able to verify the claims made here. Also, I want to stay away from some of the speculation they make in this document. I recommend people go read it with a critical, discerning eye. But the point of this video is to draw attention to the microscopic imaging that they have in this document. So in the intro here, it says, anyone who has at least a standard school microscope and a test microscope can verify the information regarding the test swabs published here. And it also mentions that the swabs were from the ones used in Slovakia and in hospitals. Now, this is a very interesting and concerning conclusion. What they're going to demonstrate in the images is very concerning, in addition to the video that we started with. So in bold here it says, from this information, it is clear that test sticks are a criminal tool of genocide in the population of Slovakia. This is a worldwide, thoughtful, and carefully prepared event. So let's look at the first images here. So these two images are of nylon hollow fibers at the broken end of test swabs. That's the caption here. Apparently these are some sort of nylon. I'm not exactly sure how they know that, if that's admitted to by the manufacturers of these swabs. If anybody has any more information about this, please do email me at timtruth@protonmail.com. Now, in these pictures, they're showing the tips of these fibers coming out from the swab. And let me read the caption here. This is their phrasing. Broken shaped ends. Their task is to disrupt the epithelium, the surface layer of the mucosa. Therefore, also their breakage and subsequent leaching of the fiber content. And they mention the fiber content as being DARPA hydrogel and lithium. They even claim that the threads are patented by DARPA. Now, I can't verify this, and I'm going to be saying that a lot in this video, but I do get the sense that these people know what they're talking about. So we should consider this at least as a theory that needs to be investigated. Now, this is an up-close view of one of these fibers, and the caption reads, longitudinally open fiber with broken end and DARPA hydrogel content balls. Now, that is very concerning if that's the case. I believe they're talking about this opening right here. They're saying that there might be some DARPA hydrogel in there. We've heard a lot about DARPA hydrogel in the past few months, but I am in no way an expert. I don't think many people are. But the more I hear about it, it sounds more and more sinister and something that we need to be concerned about and investigate. And that's what these people are doing here. So this next figure, the caption reads, on the slide after mechanical manipulation, which is identical to the swab nasopharyngeal material that contains crushed nylon fibers, hydrogen, and lithium. The material remains in nasopharynx after spawning. So again, I'm not sure what this all means. I'm just presenting this to the public so that people are aware of this and they can dig into this.
Though a zombie apocalyptic event seems horrific enough, it is far more than that. What we are experiencing is the birth of the New World Order. The New World Order is a satanic organization to the world. Now, this world is obviously not the safest, but what we are witnessing is Satan manifesting his version of the world slowly but quickly. What does this have to do with zombies? In order to understand, you have to acknowledge that everything Satan does is opposite from God. God made man in his own image. Now, even though Satan cannot create, he can manipulate and modify. And this is exactly what we are witnessing. Through the fake pandemic, laws, rules and regulations were able to be pushed amongst the entire world, from masks to injections. What the masses do not realize is that it is just the beginning of Satan's short time. Manipulation was done to natural DNA. This changes God's creation into something Satan can modify and control. This comes hand in hand with 5G tower installations and a popular social media platform known as Metaverse. Just like the zombie apocalypse they are planning, predictive programming in movies speak about technologically created zombies in a movie called Cell. Let us take a look.
Passengers on flight 3598, your gate number has been...
Hi, Dad.
Hey, buddy.
Are you coming home?
Yeah, soon. Gosh.
It's terrorists, right? It's gotta be terrorists.
Don't use your cell phone.
If we're gonna survive this, people are gonna die.
You okay?
They act for the good of the group as a whole. They may be the next stage in human evolution. What's happening now is more than temporary anarchy.
What actually is the metaverse? Well, if we think of the internet as something that we look at, the metaverse is a version of the internet that we're inside. The idea is that we will experience
as an avatar.
a virtual version of ourselves that we control as we explore this new online frontier. But what will we actually do? Okay, so Boz, here we are in what might be considered a representation of what the metaverse could be.
Yeah, for us, the metaverse is a spatial construct, as opposed to the previous web, which was really a very linear kind of 2D flat thing. We want this one to be immersive. Now, of course, it doesn't mean it has to be virtual reality. It could also just be on a phone or on a desktop computer.
You might have noticed that we're using the tools of the metaverse to create a good portion of this item. My avatar has been created by a couple of companies, Ready Player Me and Oz. They already create tools for people to make avatars from a photo. It's this virtual version of us which will travel between online experiences in any metaverse.
And then over time, what I'm most excited about is an economy there. And I mean, economy not just of digital goods, sure, and entertainment, that's great, but also services. In an immersive environment, I'm going to have an avatar. I'm going to need a stylist. I'm going to have a home space.
There's quite a few people that have got fatigued by having to have video chat meetings and things of that nature, and that they realize they now crave human contact.
Human communication is about 5% speech, is about 95% everything else. I've been in my living room with the entire team around the table, right? Making eye contact, where all the gestures are coming into the right place. So it changes completely the call it the screen fatigue we're feeling today.
The next piece of the metaverse puzzle isn't just about seeing these virtual worlds, but feeling them as well. Meta has revealed that it's been working on a glove that will let the user feel sensations, like holding an object. The glove has a number of sensors that measure the wearer's movements, and air pockets across the glove surface inflate to create sensation. These gloves aren't quite ready for prime time yet, but they're an indicator of the kind of research that's going on behind the scenes.
So, we can see that this is getting much deeper than we had thought. In the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 11, it speaks of the ones who worship the beast. They will have no rest, day nor night. The conclusion I had come with is that the combination of biblical prophecy and this metaverse being created, I have come to the understanding that through this DNA modifying shot they are pushing on the masses, they will be able to merge man and machine. However, it is not going to be beneficial for the masses. It will be absolute power and control over the masses by the world rulers. Because the ingredients within the shot contain nanoparticles. These particles are dangerous because, naturally in the human body, whenever it gets something that isn't correct with its natural code, it lets the body know immediately. However, these particles are surrounded by a kind of gel that actually keeps the body from recognizing that it's an unnatural threat. This threat includes it being a biosensor for your body, which literally means that it will constantly collect data from your body like thoughts, emotions, and more. It can even react with Wi-Fi, meaning that it can both receive and transmit energy and information. This is scary because then it can react to other things around you because you would have these nanoparticles in you. Sources of technology would affect you like cell phones, 5G towers, etc. This stuff inside the shot hydrogel actually produces its own EM. We can now see that truly, all because of the mass deception of a pandemic. They have pushed the agendas and still are in order to fulfill this new world order. The world is ordered under Satan's rule. They want to remove God from this world completely, but that will never happen. Satan's reign will be soon, but short. Therefore, being the mark of the beast, whenever you take this injection, you are completely destroying the temple of God. You are destroying the nature of it, the natural processes of it, and more. You are literally tearing down the temple of God and building a temple of Satan to replace it. This whole plan, this big great deception is all to get to this point. To own you, and to control you.